Hey chat, now that I have the Honda ADV, I have a completely different take on what the best scooter is for the Philippines, and it's this one. You know, if you tuned into my NMAX review, that I have very positive things to say about that scooter, but I also had a few issues with it, and almost all of those issues are resolved with this one. So I totally recommend this. It's a Honda ADV 160. Um, it is kind of the dirt bike of scooters, and it has fantastic suspension, uh, dual suspension in the back, dual suspension in the front, and di- uh, disc brakes on both wheels. Fantastic stopping power. It has a lot of power. It's very responsive. When you give it the gas, you are instantly getting the power that you want and expect from it. So I really like this. Some people might find this its responsiveness a little twitchy. It is definitely wants to go, but I like that. It loses some of the plush suspension that the NMAX had, in the sense that it's much stiffer. It's going to absorb a lot more uh, in terms of road variation, and it is so secure on the road, and part of that I'm sure has to do with the sort of more off-roady kind of tires that it has. They're very grippy, and I've been out riding this in the rain, and like you have no sense that you're going to slip, which is different than the NMAX for sure. Some of the big differences, besides the much better suspension and way more power, and that kind of twitchy throttle that I mentioned, is it's much higher off the ground, so it's a little bit more like a motorcycle, in the way that your stance when you're riding it and the sort of feel of it, it feels a little bit more like a dirt bike. And the trunk space in here is less. So the NMAX, I could put a couple of bags of groceries in there. This one, you're not going to do that. But it, and I don't think you could even fit a full face helmet in there. I don't think it would fit. I have a smaller helmet, and it does fit in there. Uh, the clearance is much better. You have a lot more, and the same potholes that I bought, and speed bumps and things that I bottomed out on the NMAX, I did not on these, and gives you a little bit more confidence to take on more speed and to do more. And that has its downsides, because there's a fine line between confident and overconfident, and this kind of inspires a little more risky behavior, because if you see an opening and you think you can go into it, you can, and so it will sort of encourage you to try, and that you know just keep your brain while you're riding. I like the back configuration here. It's pretty easy to strap things down on the back and carry some cargo. It's got great instrumentation, and the windshield is adjustable, which wasn't the case on the NMAX. So these are all things that make me like the ADV way more than the NMAX. And I think for the Philippines, which has terrible roads, by the way, you want something that's a little bit of a crossover between the scooter, which gives you that convenience in the city, and a dirt bike, which gives you that that sure-footedness that you want on these terrible roads. So, and it still has the ability to lane split and squeeze through very tight spaces in traffic that any other scooter does. And this one's a little bit more agile. It's quite a bit more agile than the NMAX. All right, you can see I've got 2 bags of groceries on the back there. Easy, really convenient. I buy these little stretch net bungees. Makes it super easy to strap stuff on. Other features are similar to the NMAX. You've got fuel right here, so you don't have to get off while you're refueling, and it locks up, so nobody's going to mess with it. Really nice, bright instrument panel, adjustable windshield, 2 really good mirrors. So you're on a lot of scooters, you're just looking at your biceps when you look in the mirrors, and these are out far enough that you're actually seeing behind you, so that's great. Really good suspension, ABS brakes, kind of the muffler, I don't know, it is loud, and good passenger pegs and handles, so that works really well. ABS on both the front and the back, dual shocks on both the front and the back. Really nice bright turn signals, LED, everything. This is a nice bike, and look at the clearance compared to the NMAX. This is like twice or 3 times. It's just like makes a huge difference, and these tires are fantastic. So this is my top pick for scooters in the Philippines right now. Now, for those of you who tuned in on the NMAX review, there were some people that asked about, or there was a couple people who have used this same phone mount and had some tips on it. And then there were a few people who wanted to know what exactly it was and how to get it. And then people had criticisms that it was had a lot of vibration and etc., which is true. So what I'm going to do is link a Amazon affiliate link to a better one. It's the exact same style, but with quick release and dampening, like shock absorption in it. So I'll link that down below. And the other thing, before we go on a ride, is if you are out riding in the Philippines, this is what I've really discovered, is you want the short sleeve shirt with the ventilation, but since you're riding with your arms exposed, the sun in the Philippines is no joke, and you're going to get fried riding around for a long time like this. And so here's the solution, are these sleeves, and they're made out of this material that is highly breathable and very comfortable, and I think they call it ice fabric or something, but it's very cool and cooling, and it's UV protection for your forearms. So if you put these on, I ordered a whole bunch off of Shopee, different prices and different materials, and these are the best. Some of the cheap ones on Shopee are really terrible. This has built-in pads, which you don't really need, but if you were ever in a wreck, that would really protect your elbows. So I like that. It's, like I said, it's very cooling. It feels cooler than just having nothing. It's really great. So these are the good ones. These are from RockBros. And like I said, I got these off of Shopee, which is like the Philippine version of Amazon, but for those of you who are not in the Philippines or who use Amazon here, I'll put a link also to these. But these are great. They will protect you and keep you from getting fried while you're riding around, so I totally recommend them. Okay, let's go for a ride. This time, I don't think it's gonna be too bad. We're gonna go from here to the Temple of Leah, which is a kind of a tourist attraction that I have not been to yet because it sort of seemed weird and like not something that I was gonna like the best, but now I've developed an interest. So we're gonna check out the Temple of Leah in Cebu City, and to get there, we're gonna ride the Honda ADV. I love these cargo bikes in the Philippines. BMX is the bike of choice to build a cargo bike, which you rarely see in the United States. People use mountain bikes or other kinds of bikes. But the BMX, it's like a scooter. It's super easy to hop on and off of, very agile, and it just is the perfect bike for city living. And if you build a cargo trailer for it, see, now that guy's got a real motorcycle. That's a rarity here. But if you build a cargo sidecar for a BMX, that's kind of the traditional cargo bike or pedicab in the Philippines. And then of course people do that with scooters too, or with like a Russi 125 or a Russi 175 or even 200, you see? And then you've got a major cargo vehicle. Almost as cool as the Russi Chariot, which is the ultimate cargo vehicle, I think, in the Philippines. This is a road I have never gone down before. This is going to get us to the Temple of Leah, which is, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it was built by, a millionaire entrepreneur who I think lost his wife and then built this. So it's kind of like Cebu Taj Mahal, a monument to enduring love. We're gonna go check it out. This is a cool little road with lots of little roadside stands. I like it. Kind of headed up toward the hills above Cebu City. There's another sort of viewpoint up there called Tops, very famous in the local landscape. You can go up there, and there's also casinos and malls up there. But you kind of have a view of the whole city up there. So that'll be interesting to see. This is kind of a windy, bumpy road for the ADV. Let's get really tested out. I like it. So the ADV, one thing about it is it has a much less refined feel than the NMAX is super plush. And the ADV is a lot rougher and kind of sounds like a tractor too, in terms of its, like the exhaust. But there's something, it's really its responsiveness, its sure-footedness, and its agility that just really outshines the NMAX. So, but if you want like lots of cargo space under your ass and that real plush kind of absorbing every bump, as long as you don't go over anything too big, which is hard in the Philippines because there's lots of big bumps and ruts and potholes. So this is more where the NMAX is kind of the luxury sedan of scooters. This Honda ADV is the Jeep. There's lots of coconut trees growing, lots of really diversity of foliage up here. This is more green and more sort of diverse flora than I've seen anywhere else around Cebu City. Reminds me more of southern Cebu when I was down there. So that's pretty cool. I don't know why more people don't live up in the mountains too, because you can tell that the air is getting cooler as we go up. Lots of little sorry stores along this road. best roads in Cebu are a little bit like dirt biking, which is why I think this ADV is where it's at. Going the right way? I guess I am. This is a town. Nice little mountain town. I don't know what you call that. It's pretty cool. This is like rural Cebu. This is right above the city. I feel like I'm in the mountains. It's I think you can't see it because I have the camera mounted, but it's a spectacular view. Okay, I had little technical difficulties with my action cam on the way up, but I did make it up to the Temple of Leah, and it is spectacular and beautiful up there. Amazing views, amazing kind of tropical jungle, and I really love the whole thing. The Temple of Leah, more on that later. It's a cultural phenomenon unlike anything else I've ever seen. But anyway, stay on topic here, the ADV proved itself fantastically up those really steep, windy hills, up roads up through the hills. So I totally recommend it. I love everything about it. And unlike the NMAX, I don't have any real complaints about this at all. Except maybe, storage. It doesn't have the kind of storage that the NMAX does under the seat. So that's kind of like a daily living kind of convenience thing. But with the stretch net that I got, it's really no problem to strap stuff on the back. The only problem there is it's like not locked up. So if you're going to a bunch of different places, you don't want to leave your groceries out on the end. But other than that, this is the bike to get in the Philippines. It's got the suspension that you need, and it's got the braking power, and it's got the engine power. So I recommend it.